Welcome to Crazy Fact Vault, where we uncover the dark truths behind your favorite films. Today, we explore the legend of Scarface. Scarface is not just a movie, it is a violent reflection of a specific time and place in American history. While Tony Montana is a fictional character, the world he inhabited was terrifyingly real, built on blood, cocaine, and betrayal. Many iconic scenes were ripped directly from police files and headlines that shocked the nation during the cocaine cowboy era. Join us as we separate Hollywood fiction from the brutal reality of the drug trade that inspired this cinematic masterpiece. Let us begin with the man himself. Tony Montana was heavily inspired by Mario Tabraue, a notorious Cuban-American drug lord. You might recognize the name Tabraue from the Tiger King series, but his history goes back much further than that. Tabraue operated a company importing exotic animals, which served as the perfect front for a massive drug smuggling operation. Under the guise of a legitimate zoological business, his organization moved millions of dollars worth of narcotics into the United States. At his peak, the wealth was unimaginable, mirroring the excessive lifestyle we see Al Pacino portray on the silver screen. But it was not just the money that linked them. It was the ruthless nature of how they handled their enemies. Tabraue controlled a vast network that operated with impunity, challenging law enforcement and rival gangs throughout the entire city. The speedboats used in the film were identical to the ones Tabraue used to outrun the Coast Guard during shipments. Even the architecture of his estate reflected the gaudy, over-the-top style that became synonymous with the drug lords of that era. However, the most infamous connection between reality and the movie is the gruesome scene involving a chainsaw in a bathroom. This iconic moment was based on the tragic murder of Larry Nash, an undercover federal agent, in the year 1980. Nash was investigating the cartel, but was discovered by Tabraue's associates, leading to a brutal end that shocked investigators. Unlike the movie where Tony survives, the real agent was brutally killed, his body dismembered to hide the evidence forever. The sheer brutality of this act was so extreme that it became urban legend before being immortalized in Oliver Stone's script. Stone decided to include this scene to show the audience that this world was not glamorous, but horrifyingly violent and savage. This violence was a symptom of a larger problem. Miami in the 1980s was a city teetering on total collapse. The economy was booming, but it was an artificial boom fueled almost entirely by the illicit trade of white powder. Banks in Miami were overflowing with cash, often looking the other way as billions of narco dollars entered the financial system. The situation was so out of control that a federal judge famously described the city as being on the verge of anarchy. Homicide skyrocketed, and the morgue was so full they had to rent refrigerated trucks to store the excess bodies. This was the environment that birthed Tony Montana. He was a product of a city that had lost its moral compass. Amidst the chaos, there was extreme luxury. The drug lords needed places to spend their money and display their power. In the movie, the Babylon Club is the center of this social life. In reality, this was based on the Mutiny Hotel. The Mutiny Hotel was an exclusive members-only club that served as the playground for the city's most dangerous criminals. It was statistically the #1 buyer of Dom Perignon champagne in the world, surpassing all other clubs and hotels globally. Drug lords, undercover agents, and celebrities rubbed shoulders here, creating a volatile mix of glamour and imminent danger every night. The club was designed for them, featuring tables with secret compartments to hide weapons in case a raid or fight occurred. It was a neutral ground where business was conducted, alliances were formed, and hits were ordered over expensive drinks. Oliver Stone spent extensive time in places like this to capture the authentic dialogue and mannerisms of the cocaine cowboys. Writing the script was a dangerous journey for Stone, who was battling his own addiction to cocaine at that very time. He realized that he could not write a script about the dangers of addiction while living in the heart of it. To save his life and his work, Stone made the drastic decision to leave Miami and move to Paris, France. In the cold isolation of Paris, away from the temptations of Miami, he was finally able to finish the screenplay. He poured his own pain and understanding of addiction into the script, giving the character of Tony Montana tragic depth. This personal connection is why the movie's depiction of paranoia and self-destruction feels so incredibly authentic and emotionally powerful. Beyond Tony, other characters were also rooted in reality. Frank Lopez was based on the real drug kingpin, Carlos Quesada. Quesada was known for his jovial public persona, which masked a ruthless ability to order executions without blinking an eye. Like Frank in the movie, Quesada eventually underestimated the ambition of his younger subordinates, leading to his eventual downfall. The dynamic between the old guard and the new, hungry generation was a central theme in the Miami drug wars. Then, there is the character of Omar Suarez, the snitch who meets a terrible fate hanging from a helicopter. Omar was based on Ricardo "Monkey" Morales, a complex figure who worked as an executioner, an informant, and a trafficker. Morales was known for playing both sides of the law, a dangerous game that earned him many enemies in Miami. His nickname Monkey came from his agility and his ability to escape tight situations, much like the character in the film. While his death in real life was different, the movie used his character to showcase the zero-tolerance policy for informants. Stone wove these real lives together to create a tapestry that told the story of a city losing its soul. The tragedy of Scarface is not just about one man. It is about the destruction of an entire generation by greed. Behind the Hollywood action and the quotable lines lie thousands of real graves and destroyed families in South Florida. The era of the cocaine cowboys eventually ended, but its impact on pop culture and Miami history remains permanent. Scarface became a cult classic, influencing music, fashion, and video games, often glorifying the lifestyle it meant to critique. Today, Tony Montana is seen as an icon of ambition, but the real history reminds us of the bloody cost. Mario Tabraue served his time and is now a free man, a living relic of a time that seems almost fictional. The Mutiny Hotel still stands, though the secret compartments and the flowing champagne are long gone from its halls. Oliver Stone went on to become a legendary director, proving that escaping the Miami drug scene was his best decision. The line between fact and fiction is often blurred, but in the case of Scarface, the truth is stranger. The world is yours, the movie says, but as we have seen, the price for that world is often your soul. We hope this deep dive has changed the way you watch this cinematic classic the next time you see it. If you enjoyed uncovering the real history behind Scarface, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe now. We have many more dark secrets from Hollywood's history waiting to be unlocked in our upcoming videos every single week. Check out our video on The Godfather if you want to know how the real mafia influenced that masterpiece. Thank you for joining us in the vault today. Remember, reality is always more fascinating than the movies we watch. This has been a production of Crazy Fact Vault. We are dedicated to bringing you the best true crime stories. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep watching. We will see you in the next episode of Crazy Fact Vault.